me tell you about my story a little bit, because I've been in business for about 40 years. I started my first business that put me through college in the 60s, and I've been around the block. I've had wildly successful companies, and I've lost a lot of money. And so the business is really fun. I love the business part of it. But when I felt the best, that's when my business has really functioned well. And when I got to a certain level in my business where the business was successful, but I wasn't really feeling well, that's when I really started to wake up, when I started to go, wait a minute, I've pushed my body hard. I've stayed up all night getting reports done. I've worked with the banks. I feel like all the pressure and stress of bringing business in and making sure that things function well, that's a lot of stress. It's an ongoing source of pressure. How do we handle it?
Working with Morgan was amazing because, he shared things about his challenges, his successes, what went wrong in his life, and I so appreciated it to be very successful and to recover from mistakes, and then to have physical ailments, and then to take every medication in the world prescribed to get over that, and to have that pull him down to nothing, and where am I in life, and even to a point where he was questioning whether he should be alive, and to have the nuts to stand up from that and seek and learn and find and get some answers, and then on top of that to put this together was brilliant. Talk about great business, but to come from your heart, which is what he, in his speaking, is what he really wanted to do. He's always wanted to share and give and get beyond his own selfish needs, which is what everybody should be doing. I've learned so much, and Morgan's experiences sharing them with me, and his stability as a man is it's infectious. He's an amazing guy. I love him.
Morgan is someone that I met at a retreat. I was going to a brand new retreat for the first time. I was a little nervous, and he greeted me as soon as I got there, helped me with all the stuff I had brought, and just really made me feel comfortable and part of the community immediately. He's also one of my role models for business. He is an amazing example of bringing spirituality and business together, which is very much what I wish to do with my own business.
And I got to a point where I was headed down a pretty dark path. I mean, my doctor told me that, well, your dad had diabetes, and he had a heart attack, and he had cancer, and so did your grandfather, and so you're genetically disposed to these kinds of things, and it was like depressing. So I ended up, thinking that, why go to any trouble of taking care of myself, until I finally woke up one day and went, I'm in pain. I can't deal with this anymore. I would roll out of bed, crawl on my hands and knees on the floor, and it would take me 15 minutes before I could actually stand up.
Morgan and I we're kind of like, I think we hit it off, like we're kind of from the same page in a way, and like I say, the yoga treatments and the breathing exercise that he did, and just the talking to him one-on-one, you can see that his spirit is into what he's trying to create with Grace Grove, and you can feel it's a total commitment, and it's a blessing that he's got that capability of putting something like this together.
I did have an opportunity to speak with Morgan, and I was captured by his level of enthusiasm. His smile is contagious. His passion is unlimitedless. He is an amazing individual that's so awe-inspiring, that coming here to Grace Grove, I never imagined what an important role and role model that Morgan would be for me.
Morgan's the brother, like the brother energy, and the guidance, like, where do I go from here? Morgan gives you or offers you where to go. He offers you the space and the openness and the willingness to take that exploration another step of things that maybe you always wanted to do, or maybe something that you thought of at some point in your life would be great to do, and all of a sudden that's your thing to do. He's the guiding brother, and he provides the opportunity for you to explore where you would like your life to go.
You know, Morgan reached out to me when I first arrived here and spent some time with me, and at that point in time, I mean, I really didn't know exactly what I wanted to get out of this process, but I was impressed by him, and my respect for Morgan has grown immensely over this. You know, what he's gone through on a personal level, how he's, you know, what he's doing here is amazing, and he's a special person.
So Morgan led a couple of the yoga classes in here, which were very eye-opening, especially since I was working with some back issues at the time, which have been fading. Also, he gave a class in flow and staying in those places that serve you, the areas where intention and action, I think is what he said, really come together.
I decided it was time to take charge. I wasn't going to do the surgeries that were recommended, and I was tired of taking the pills that I was being given. And I looked around at what was really happening and what people were really doing to take charge of their own lives, and cleansing came up almost all the time.
Yes, I work with Morgan. It's a great guy. I like his energy a lot. We have very similar things around, and I like very much his advices, his coaching, his experiences. Definitely he helped me a lot on this process, and I like very much his yoga classes. They're great to start the day, and his life experience is amazing. So he was very helpful in this process. He was great.
Morgan's awesome. You know, we really were able to connect right off the bat. He's an old skier, like an extreme skier, and one of my best friends is a skier as well, and they'd actually met, and he's just a really good dude. You know, comes from a background that I understand really well. You know, pushing hard charging, and has made the transition himself, and now is just the ideal kind of guy you want to be, to just have faith in the system and know that you're in good hands and with a good dude. And also, you know, his specific knowledge for myself as a CEO was pretty awesome. He led us through a presentation just here at the end, specifically designed for getting in flow states, and really made a lot of sense, and a lot of good pointers and wisdom that's going to help me run my business, as well as, you know, everything that he helped organize for my health.
3 belief systems that I had to move into in order to move on with my health. The first was humility. I didn't have all the answers. The second was forgiveness for all the wrongs I perceived. And the final was the compassion for myself along this journey. Be compassionate with yourself.